Well, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. We have something new that we're going to try out this week. Last week, we had the opportunity to meet Kurt and Donna Sims and their family, and they joined with us virtually. So a first for Mile Straight. So we're going to try to have another first today. And we started thinking this past week, it's great for the current members to get to know the new members. But then we began to realize this week that we want the new members to get to know some of the older members or veteran members of the church. And so I want to introduce to you, as you can see them on the screen, I want to introduce to you Tim and Susie Broome. How you doing, guys?
We're doing great.
Great. So again, we just want this to be informal, but we want people to kind of get to know you, who you are, so that when we get to come back together and they see your faces, if they don't already know you, they can get to know you and just, again, try to create a little bit more community as much as we can. So just got a couple of questions for you. How long have y'all been at Mile Straight?
Well, for me, I've been there all of my life, so that's about almost 66 years.
Okay.
Tim has been there for about 25 years.
25 years,
yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go off that, Susie. You said you've been here your whole life. Tell us, and a lot of people know this connection, but a lot don't. So what is your connection with the founding of Mile Straight?
Okay, well, my mother, who was Dorothy Lastly, before she married my dad, was one of the founding members of the original church, and I believe it was called Johnson Chapel.
And that was
probably sometime back in the 40s.
I think it was 1942.
Okay.
Then it was founded. So one of the founding members of the church.
Right. Well, yeah. And then later on in Sunday school, that's where my dad met my mom, and they said, the story goes that the first day he came to Sunday school, Mother asked him his name, and Daddy was real shy. And of course he mumbled it, and she had to ask him 2 or 3 times what his name was so she could record it, And supposedly, he went home that day and told his mom and dad, "I've met the girl I'm going to marry." And sure enough, that's what happened. So.
And what ages were they?
Oh, probably 16, 17 years old, something like that.
Okay. And if you had the privilege of knowing John and Dorothy Buckner, great people, and they left a legacy here at Mile Straight, no doubt, not only just by the members, but by their lives that they lived as well. So Tim, I'm going to ask you this question, and this is a connection that I have with you, the special connection that you have with the Sneed family, and really more in particular, my grandfather, Grady Sneed. Would you tell us just a little bit about him?
I met your granddad probably in the middle 60s at Middle Valley Baptist Church. I grew up with Don, and of course I knew Tommy, your dad, and your mom. She lived right down the street from us over in Middle Valley. And your granddad was a second father to a lot of people.
Absolutely.
A lot of young men and women at Middle Valley. And if you ever had a problem, you would go to Grady and Beulah. And of course, I'd run around with Don. And if you had a problem, you go to Grady and Beulah. They were there. No matter what time of day, it could be 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night. And if they were in bed, they would get out of bed and come in there and talk to you. They were just wonderful, wonderful people. And one of the most inspirational man and woman to talk to about Christ.
Absolutely. I'll add this in there as well. Unconditional love.
Exactly.
It did not matter good or bad. Unconditional love is the best 2 words that I can say for both of them. but especially my grandfather.
That's it.
True.
That is
So
true.
we'll appreciate that. Well, let's keep moving on. What are your current occupations? What do you do right now?
Well, for me, I work part-time at, here's an ad for Cordell Electric.
There we go. There we go. We'll bill them here in just a little bit.
Pardon me?
We'll bill them. We'll send a bill to
Oh,
them.
okay, yeah, advertising fee. In my former life, I was in information system or information technology. I did that for about 35 years, but I'm enjoying semi-retirement by working part-time.
Okay. Tim?
I'll let Tim tell about his.
I was a letter carrier for the Postal Service. I worked at Murray Lake Hill Station. I worked there for 32 years. I stayed retired for 10 years, I guess, and then I went back to work part-time for Travis Wright at Simply Mail.
Okay. All right. So tell me this. I know you, and I know one of the passions that both of you have, and that is missions.
Yes.
Why?
Missions to us, or to me, is well, I really don't know how to say it. I guess cause of Clip Sutton.
Who?
Clip.
Clip Suttoth?
Yes.
Okay.
He is
Hang on.
my inspiration for missions.
Well, hang on a second. Who's there? Clip.
Clip.
Hey.
Hey.
Hello.
So,
Hey, Clip. Hey.
so Tim, go ahead and say what you're going to say.
I said, I've known Clip for quite a while, and he is one of the most inspirational people about Christ. I love him to death, him and Mary both, and they just inspire us. I
Absolutely.
love them to death.
Well, we didn't know you were going to say that. We came on here just to say hello to y'all and to say thank you for so much. We know that both of you have a big heart for missions and for missionaries, and that means a lot to us. Personally, you mean a lot to us, and we just want to speak for all the missionaries sent out from Miles Strait, that we're very thankful to you, Susan, for what you do each month and sending out the reports and sending the checks to the different mission agencies, and it means a lot to us. We really appreciate it.
So Clip and Mary, stay on here for just a second. Most people don't know this, and Susie is not one that's going to go and just proclaim it to the mountaintops, but Susie has for a long period of time been our mission secretary. And she does all the reports. She does all of the gathering of the money to send those out to make sure that those are going out every month. And Susie, how long have you been doing that?
I think I should have looked that up, I guess, before this. I think at least 4 years, maybe 5.
Okay.
So
And there's a lot to it. There's a lot to it. And so she has done it. She has done it faithfully, and allows people like Clip and Mary on the field to get their check from here. And if it was up to me, Clip and Mary may never see their money. So
Thankfully, it's not up to you, Jason.
Exactly.
I would agree, and I'm sure there's a whole lot of other people that would agree on that as well. Well, Clip and Mary, I'll thank you for joining us today. I'll let you say whatever else you want to say to them, and then we'll keep going.
Good to see you, Clip, Mary. God bless.
God bless you too. We love you very much. And just a comment, Susan, I know that you've been doing this at least since January of 2015, because that's when we started raising support to go on the mission field, and you were doing it at that point. So
okay. Well, I knew it'd been about 5 years, but when you get old, time just all runs together.
She's one of those veteran members.
Yeah.
So, hey, Cliff and Mary, thank you for joining us. We hope we were able to surprise Tim and Susie.
Boy, you did.
You
did that.
With this. But from the church itself, we want to let people get to know you guys, but it also is an opportunity for us to say thank you. For all you do, how much that you give of yourself. Tim is always there. He is always telling me, you need something, you tell me, and I will do it. So from the bottom of our hearts, from Mile Straight, from the missionaries, Susie and Tim, we say thank you very much for everything that you're doing.
Well,
thank you for you too, buddy. You do a lot.
Well, we hope that you've enjoyed this first edition of the Family Spotlight, and depending on how this goes, I think it went well. We may have more to come over the next couple of weeks. Thank you very much, and we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
See y'all. Love y'all.
Love you too.
Love you too.
Bye-bye.